Hey, I'm Andy, and welcome to Rock, Roll, and Red Plaid. Okay, Rock, Roll, and Red Plaid podcast. Here with Pretty Rotten. I can't roll my R's. If you each could introduce yourselves and what you do in the band.
I'm Scott. I do a little guitar, a little vocals, a little bit of recording, mixing, mastering.
Okay.
My name is Ben. I play bass and sing some vocals,
Right on.
occasionally.
Hmm.
And I'm Alex. I play the drums and I also sing.
All right, fantastic. What were now? You guys are all three siblings, yes?
No.
No.
No. So take a guess. Which two of the siblings?
I can kind of see you got the book you got the bookends, right?
Yeah.
We're soul siblings.
Ah, yeah, band of brothers. There you go.
Exactly. So at this point, we're more or less effectively siblings, but only two of us are blood related.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's always been something I've really wanted to explore on this podcast is having siblings in a band on. Like I think of off the top of my head, of course, Eddie and Alex Van Halen. I think of even in more modern times, Lizzie and RJ Hale from Hailstorm are
Hmm.
siblings.
Got the Allman Brothers
Oh
Band.
my gosh, of course. So I guess, was it you, Scott and Alex, that put it together first, and then you found, I'm sorry, I forgot the other one's name there. Ben. Oh my gosh, the other one. Um, so
They call me sometimes.
yeah, how did it really start for you guys? What was the catalyst?
Well, Scott and I have been playing together as long as we've been playing instruments. Just makes sense. We're actually twins, so I
Okay.
started drums just before middle school. Scott picked up guitar soon after, and we played for a while in different kinds of small ensembles. We started a band called 27 Club, which was like doing cover songs. And then in high school, we met Ben, and he joined 27 Club at the time. And we moved through different kinds of incarnations of that. And then eventually we became Pretty Rotten. And we've been writing our own songs and performing together for 10 years altogether.
Wow. Very good. Um, Now I know you've probably heard this before. Pretty Rotten. Where did the name come from? Like, is it produce? Is it kind of like I don't know.
Yeah, actually, you're pretty on there. I was at work. I was working security at Fenway Park at the time, and I had an apple in my lunch, and I bit into the apple, which looked perfect at the time, and then I bit into it, and it was totally rotten inside. And I was
Ugh.
like, oh, this is pretty rotten. And then I was like, oh, that'd be a good band name. I probably type pretty rotten would be a dope band
There it
name.
is. Yeah. Um, so stylistically, I see the Pink Floyd logo back there. I guess that is a big influence on you guys. Any other groups stand out to you as the bigger influences? Um,
I think that we all sort of probably have different answers to that one because I
Yeah.
think that's part of I think sort of how we approach the music is that we all really come from sort of different places and we try to sort of meet in the middle. So I guess Scott, so who would I guess your biggest influences be?
As far as like to like add to the sound of Pretty Rotten, I would say like, I draw a lot of influence from Jimi Hendrix, Steve Ray Vaughan, definitely Pink Floyd as well. And like as far as like vocals and stuff go, like I definitely a lot of like AC/DC and like Foo Fighters, that's kind of where I draw some of those kind of influences from. And like, throughout some of our music and different recordings, you can kind of see those influences like work their way into our original music. But Ben and Alex also have kind of different influences and different music that they listen to. So I'm gonna let Ben explain his side of that.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of we all like I mean they grew up in the same household, so we obviously had different experiences from growing up, and there's definitely a lot more crossover for them than there is for me, but we all come from a background of classic rock and blues and that kind of stuff. I definitely was very influenced by bands like Aerosmith and Kiss and AC/DC and sort of like the very performative, like I've
Mm,
always been into that sort of like stage presence forward
right.
type of band. Um, and then as I've gotten older, I've gotten much more focused on bands that are, I think, like much more cerebral, like Pink Floyd and, you know, going into even more recently, me and Alex have gotten very much into the jam stuff. So, um, that's been a huge influence on us. And I guess I'll let you take off from there.
Pearl Jam was my big band starting out that I like
Hmm.
listened to stuff, and I was one of the first big rock concerts I went to, and that really formed my
Yeah.
uh feelings about drumming and singing. And also to give it a little bit of contrast, Chance the Rapper was a big influence on me
Mm,
lyrically. I
hmm
think that
Ah,
yeah,
hmm
okay.
Huge.
his early work is just like unlike anything else, and it really inspired me to start writing and creating lyrics.
Yeah.
I think a couple albums that probably like really influenced us are probably Acid Rap, Chance the Rapper.
Hmm.
Um, Another one I was literally just listening to this the other day, and I really feel like it does play into a lot of our sound is Best Buds, Mom Jeans. That album I think has a lot of relevance to and just nostalgic, context, and like we listened to
Yeah.
that a lot back when they were in college, and I like I just said I listened to it the other day, and it literally rockets me right back to those
Those
times and those
moments.
feelings and
Right.
and just the way that they sort of construct their songs is very
Yeah.
it just feels really good.
Yeah, I get that with certain stuff I listen to. It's like any certain Thin Lizzy recording takes me back about 10 years ago, like, to this day, love the Black Rose album, which just to me is untouchable because it's the only one with Gary Moore in it. It's
True.
just, oh, perfect. It's almost a perfect album, I'd say.
Oh,
You know,
Phil Lynott.
waiting for an alibi or do anything you want to do. Oh, just perfect songs as far as that. Just it's like I said, it just takes you right there, beeline.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the thing. It's just I think for all of us, it's just about being open to anything and just always exploring new music. And,
Mm,
that's a thing that we kind of have tried to procure in our music experience and just the way that we listen is that we really have a reverence for the old stuff, but we're also trying to not stay closed off to whatever's new. And I
right.
think that, that's really important, especially in today's world where everybody's being influenced by everything constantly.
Yeah.
But having that old context mixed with the new, it's like that's where you
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Our mutual friend Arlen there, and his our friend there, Cliff. He loves his influences of certain songs there, and then I'll bring in something that he may not have heard, and he'll bring in something I may not have heard before, and the next thing you know, we're stirring it together, and it's something cool and new, And I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody who's worked in a band before, like it's the soup. You're stirring up the soup, and the ingredients go in, and no rotten ingredients, or maybe,
It's
you
just
know.
gotta have a little of both.
Yeah, the band name definitely precedes how we actually are. As
Yeah, I know.
people hear the name and they think that we're going to be like a heavy punk band
Or like
and
a metal
or
band
like a
even.
metal band or something,
Yeah.
and we're very
No.
much sort of laid back, and we try to we just try to make stuff that we would enjoy listening to. I guess.
Yeah. I I I like what you guys did. It does give off a jam band vibe. I really like it. I really, think it's something that needs to be more needs to come back more, I think.
Yeah.
Even if it's within a like not a traditional jam band. Like you could have a blues jam band, you could have a rock jam band, you could have a hard rock jam band. You could anything that, works within the dynamic of just keeping it going.
Yeah.
Yep.
We kind of go for everything and nothing at the same time.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
think that being a trio also allows us a lot of room to experiment and do different things because it's just three of us controlling everything.
Yeah.
Like turning my guitar into a synth or
Yeah.
turning bass into a weird
Hmm.
froggy
Yeah.
type.
Love
Yeah.
those.
I don't
There
know,
were
Alex. You
yeah.
think with drums, is there anything like different that you throw at it or
Uh,
Pitch shift the kick drum.
reverse
yeah,
reverse? Yeah.
It's the freedom to sort of experiment
yeah.
and see what's gonna be cool because
We try not to put ourselves in any kind of boxes or have limitations or even I don't want to copy anything or
Yeah.
and one thing I do all the time is if someone comes up with a riff or a song idea, I'm like, oh, this sounds like this, and then we're like, oh, now it's ruined.
I I was what's funny is I sometimes to this day will try and emulate not necessarily a person's playing, but like the style, and but then try and make it my own. But then nobody catches it because somebody go, "Oh, that's very Andy." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. That's Van Halen. That's Satriani. That's Gary Moore. You can't tell? All right."
Then it just becomes your own sound.
Yeah, I guess. But there was a trio that you guys kind of remind me of a little bit that were local for a while. They're called Company One. I don't know if you ever remember that group.
It rings a bell, but I'm not sure.
Um, yeah, they were kind of like a progressive jam shoegazy kind of group. They're more like less on the performance aspect, but definitely more on the technical side there. The guys at 5x2 Records were helping them out. I don't know if you know Bob McCarthy over there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and he used to come and help us with my old band's shows way back.
Oh,
Uh,
all right. We actually played a show, I think, with his daughter's band, Circus
oh,
Trees.
I love Circus Trees.
Uh,
They are
uh,
so great.
Yeah,
Um,
over at the Natick Center for the Arts.
mm-hmm.
We were just getting started, and now,
those are
yeah, they
Oh, they are amazing. I talk about you want to talk about some serious songwriting that they do. Those girls are amazing. Um, And then I guess that's kind of where I go next is the songwriting is like, where does it start, because sometimes in bands I've been in, one person comes in not with a full song, but someone always has the idea. Who's is it usually one of you three, or well, it should it ought to be who's gonna do it?
but
But
primarily a lot of the songs we have right now were completely written by these two because
okay.
I came into the band about full time about 2 years ago.
All right.
Before that, they had basically written almost our entire catalog of songs. And
Oh.
since then, we've added maybe like five,
Mm-hmm.
five songs we've all written together, right?
yeah, that we're performing and kind of like getting ready to
Mm-hmm.
record and release and things like that. We randomly just like come up with song ideas and it'll go into like a iPhone demo and then
Mm-hmm.
it gets forgotten about and then we're like, what about that song? We got to bring that back around and then we'll work on it and
flesh
kind
it
of
out.
yeah flesh it out and see where it goes. But we try not to like force anything. There's no formula. They kind of do just come out of thin air sometimes. Like one of our more recent songs, I think Ben said we should write a song about love, which we don't really have any love songs. But then it turned into a song called "It's Love," and we've been playing that, and people really enjoy it, and we enjoy playing it a lot.
I think that's the one I first heard when I went up to listen to you guys on your site there. Sorry, site
Yeah.
water bottle there. But and what Alex, were you the one singing it too? Or that was you. Okay. Man,
It,
that was a great tune. That was really I mean, I it's been a minute, but I really it stuck out to me as the songs in your catalog. That was the one that made me go, "Oh, okay, there's something here," you know?
Endless unconditional, all enveloping love. Think about it long enough, and you realize it's love. It's love. Everything resolves into love.
or
Drummers
like
who sing. I always love drummers who sing. You know, that's a rare find, you know.
sometimes when we're like writing music or like you said, kind of where the song like starts is like I'll come into a practice session with a riff, or
Mhm.
it will just like happen out of nowhere, and then like I think it's usually Alex is like, wait, hold on, keep playing that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like he'll either have something that comes to him as far as like lyrics go or an idea for like a melody, and then it'll just kind of form naturally, or sometimes we'll also bring in lyrics that we'd already written, or like I'll have a riff but no lyrics, and then like maybe Ben has something. So it's
Mhm.
kind of, it just depends on like kind of what we're feeling, and kind of just how the song like naturally forms. But like Alex said, like we don't really sit down and we're like, we're gonna write this song, it's gonna be in this key, and it's gonna be about these lyrics. Like it's kind of all over the place. But we bring it together in the end to give you an actual song and not just a bunch of ideas floating around. So
Yeah, I've always found that if you force something, it doesn't work.
yeah.
Never works if you force it. I mean, I think I'm up to about 12 songs I've written in the past week and a half, and none of them were forced. They just flew out of me. We all have those moments, you know. I always love asking this question. Nightmare gigs versus your best gig, you know, anything that sticks out in your mind that like, oh, this was awesome versus like, let's forget that in a hurry.
That's the thing. You also have to think about who you want to call out.
Oh, oh, oh dear.
I think
You
I
know,
know what.
you don't have to name names, you know.
Definitely, there's definitely a couple nightmare gigs
I
that we've
I
had.
got I got one in particular for me. Me and Alex, when we were kind of just doing Pretty Rotten as just him and I,
Mhm.
we played a show near Salisbury Beach, and it was
Oh,
like it was in October, not not where you really want to be in October. There was like a rain and windstorm,
it was at the
so
Carousel Lounge.
the Carousel Lounge in Salisbury Beach, and so we're loading in, and it's like raining, it's pouring, and there's wind and sand getting blasted at us. It was like a five-band bill, so
Mm.
we were like second to last. So we went to the show. There wasn't really a lot of people there because there was a big storm. It was also like a Halloween show, so we are kind of like dressed up. I think we might have been like the characters from like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. But we sat and we listened to the four bands, and there was basically like the bands and maybe like four or five other people that kind of came in and out of that show, and then loading out, it was still rainy and windy, and it was just like, coupled with the weather, and then also there not being a lot of audience members there, it was just like, I think that show really stuck out to me as far as like it really was not a great show for us and our experience. So
That's weather and circumstances, really. That wasn't like sound problems or anything, really, you know. But
what
I
do you
get
think?
that though.
No, I was just thinking of the place down the road.
Oh,
We
Yep.
played at this,
I don't think
uh
it's
yeah,
not no
it's
longer in
not there
business.
anymore. It was called Shred City, and
Is it not there anymore?
no,
No,
it's
it's
gone
shut
now.
down.
Oh wow,
They
that
had
was quick.
some questionable allegations against the owner, and we got kind of like,
Oh,
it was like dropping the right when we were playing the show. So
Yeah, like we
didn't
played like
know
right
what
when
was
they
going
opened, and we
on.
didn't really have a sort of a vibe of like what it was
Still,
like. And
still
it was,
don't really know what actually happened with them,
yeah.
but it was kind of sketchy.
Ooh. Oh.
We had some shows where we're kind of all in a bit of tension, either between the three of us or just kind of like got in a little bit of a tiff, and it goes into the show and we play it, and we just kind of get through it, and you probably don't realize it if you're listening to it or watching the show, but we're all sitting there like a little bit pissed off with each other, maybe.
That's that reminds me of oh, sorry, I don't want to cut you off there. No. Um
But as far as let's go to the positive side. Best
Yeah.
shows.
yeah, absolutely. That's why that goes first. We'll end on a positive, you know.
Oh, really?
That's the thing. Like I'm trying to think of like a time when I don't know if I've ever had a time when I was on stage when I didn't have some fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We Extravaganza last year at UMass, hosted by UMass Amherst at the Franklin County Fairgrounds.
That was good.
It was really cool. It was a nice stage and just a field of people hanging out and sitting and
Partaking
yeah. in the Extravaganza. Very cool. We're actually hoping to get invited back this year. Waiting for it, so it's a big maybe.
Nice.
We also every year we play Porch Fest in Arlington, where Scott and I grew up.
Okay.
And 2018 was a really cool Porch Fest. There was a good turnout, lots of people, and we were just in a really cool mind space that day.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one of my most memorable shows for sure.
Yeah, that was cool. And then we also just played a really great show recently down at the Met in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, opening for this band from
I was
Colorado.
gonna go. I couldn't make it down there that night. Yeah.
Yeah. It was still a really fun time. And yeah, that's just one of those. It's fun to play those venues where the sound is a little bit more professional, and it's the sound guy was 10 out of 10 that night.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're actually gonna be back in Rhode Island March 9th in Providence at Alchemy.
I feel like I've played there before. I'm not sure.
You probably have.
Definitely a cool spot.
It's one of those spots that people get to.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. That was I mean it was good though. One of
I'll
my
I'll give you one more favorite gig to close it off. We played a 420 show our senior year in college. That was really cool.
That was a good
The
time.
school would refuse to endorse the show because it was on 420, and Scott's a graphic designer, so he made this poster. And
Yeah,
He made beautiful posters.
I made some posters that were questionable in the school's eyes, and they were also like 36 by 48, so pretty massive.
Giant
and
posters with 420 written out in
and I went I went around to some different windows in the school. I put those posters up. They were taken down. I put them
Oh yeah.
so but this happened because for about 2 or 3 years I was trying to plan a like a school indoor show. Like I was even going through like their student affairs, and I was trying to organize it in a way where the school would endorse it, and they just like didn't let me do it. So I was like, well, let me try to get this space, and we ended up doing it in the Center for the Arts at our old school, and it ended up being a really good turnout as far as it was a really fun show as well. So.
And
nice.
His professor Ken Calhoun, he gave us the green light. He's like, I don't care if the school tells you no, just do it.
Nice. Those are the ones you remember.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, thank you so much for doing this. This was really, really fun. For more of my original content, visit my website, www.andyconley.com.
Hey, we're pretty rotten. Oh,
No, hold on. I'm Alex. I'm Alex.
Oh yeah,
and
I'm
Ben.
Alex.
Oh yeah,
I'm Alex.
I'm Ben,
I'm Scott.
and you're watching Rock and Roll Red Plaid.
Sure. Let's take it. Rock and roll, rock, roll, and red plaid. Rock and roll, red plaid.
Is it Rock, Roll, and Red Plaid, or is it
It's rock, roll, and red plaid.
one more time? One more time.
Rollin'
One more
red
time. One more
plaid,
time.
baby.
One more time.
I'm Alex.
I'm Ben,
And I'm Scott.
and you're watching Rock, Roll. This is gonna
It's
be
a
like
bit of a tongue
this is gonna be a
twister.
blooper reel. I thought I had it. That's what I thought. I had it as Rock and Roll Red in my head all week.
This is so great.
Red plaid.
You're gonna leave all that unedited?
Yeah, you can use all of this footage. This is great. All right, one more time.
Oh, no.
No, just do it. Just let him get a good.
I'm Alex.
I'm Ben,
And I'm Scott.
and you're watching Rock, Roll, and Red Plaid.
Thank you
Booyah! Hey!
so much for having us.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's good. Turning it off.